I've been pretty busy over these last few weeks. Not only have I done quite a bit of work inside the Crystal Cave, including a little bit more from last time you saw it, but I've also finally gotten like a huge majority of my stuff finally inside these chests down here. If I'm honest, I was kind of putting this off for a while because of just how monotonous this is going to be, but you know what? It's at least done for the most part, I think. Actually, wait. I didn't do my starter house yet. Okay, mostly done. But even though I've been doing a ton in my base and a ton around the realm, there's been a whole bunch of spots and things that I've just been kind of neglecting in some way. And there's two really big things that come to mind with this. One of which is the fact that I'm kind of falling behind a little bit when it comes to these map art projects. Like there's this one I was working on, but then just for a while I've just not done it. And then there's another one, and yeah, I've been falling behind a lot on this stuff. Also, if we head back up, the racetrack and I guess like the minigame district in general has kind of been neglected for a really long time. But that's gonna change pretty quickly as we see later on in the video. But I think to start off, let's go back over to my map making area and actually at the very least finish up this one map part right now, which hopefully won't be as hard as last time. Unfortunately for me, it was much harder than before because the previous map parts were very like square based and things like that, with some exceptions say to like say Clutch's map art or something like that, but for the most part they were pretty easy. This one had so many twists, so many turns, so much bits of shading, and so many other different types of things like that. But after a huge amount more time than I was expecting later, this is the map we actually ended up with, and it is absolutely gorgeous. Hopefully they'll be able to sell at least a little bit, considering just how detailed and how like complicated this thing was. Like seriously, this looked like 2-3 weeks or something like that. When I broke out like this one and the other one in like a day or something like that. Like that one was really tricky. But now we're done with that, which means we can move on to do something else now. And that something else is actually going to be the ice track. And I kind of want to finish it off, or at least the ice part of it, to have it loop back around and back to the start. And then afterwards, kind of do a lot around here. Like I want to do a lot of like groundwork for many more mini games to actually be built in here. Because honestly, apart from my few little things, like no one else is built up here. Well, I say no one else is built up here, like look what I'm standing on, but you know, no other mini games have actually been built up here. So maybe if I actually build it up in a way that this could be a theme park, maybe there could be more mini games built up here. But before we even start those plans, we need to finish our current plans. Now I remember talking with Blaze and discussing like how I wanted this racetrack to actually go, but honestly, I don't remember that conversation. I know we had a conversation about it, but I just couldn't remember what was in that conversation. So will this entire racetrack stick the way it will be? I don't know. Maybe. But don't be surprised if it changes a little bit from what we do right now. But at least for right now, all I want to do is get back to the start. That's all I want to do. Maybe not falling off. That'd probably be a pretty high priority too. And some red concrete later, and we might actually finish up pretty much the entire outline of this race course. And if we take a look from the sky, it's not like crazy complicated. And again, things are probably going to change in the future, but I think for the most part, this is a pretty good outline. But the outline of making this entire thing, that was the hard part. This part, filling in the entire ice, like it's as easy as filling in an entire race course is what some form of AI generation would say, but what I will say is we're finishing the race course. And with that big statement, the actual functional part of the ice track has been pretty much completely and totally done. Again, there's probably going to be some changes here and there throughout, but for the most part, it's pretty much there. Mostly there. Possibly completely there. I have no idea yet, but yeah, what I also did is I actually added like the start and finish line right here too, and why don't we just take it for a go, take it for a spin, just see how things actually go. So yeah, all the stuff we've seen before, this long strip, make the turn, and wait, there's a crafting table there. Okay, gotta get rid of that soon. We go up this thing, up the black flashes of abyss, and then we go up here, past here, we make the turn over here, passing these new things I added like not too long ago with Blaze. I go around here. What I actually did right here is I made it a little bit harder to miss, so yep, that should be good there. And we just go all the way around here on this turn, and go all the way around here underneath the previous track, and then all the way back to the start, as we can see right there. That isn't too bad of a race course, if I do say so myself. Like I don't mean to pat myself on the back too much, but that is a pretty good race course if I do say so myself. So functionally it does work, but looks wise it just looks like a racetrack just plonked right in the middle of a cherry grove. And I do have some ideas as to what we could do to remedy that, but first off, I need to find a certain something. I still need to empty all these chests from my starter base, but I don't know, it's just such a tedious thing. Okay, here it is, nether wart. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let all this nether wart grow, and in the meantime, get more red concrete. Because I'm gonna need all this concrete as well as the nether wart to make nether wart bricks, and use the concrete to make, I don't know, to make the racetrack seem a little bit more, realistic, like you can expect to see it in real life. And just before I forget, let's get some of this smelting. Well, we go off and use this red concrete. And some of the simplest things I want to do, at least at the start, is to just have more layers of this red concrete going down. Ooh, why am I even doing it from the ground? Like, this is so much easier. Like, why have I not done this? Only thing is, I want to have this layer and then one more. So, yeah, things aren't going to be easy forever. And after completing one layer, I think I've come to the conclusion that I only need one layer. But now what we're going to need, especially under where all these creepers are, is 1, some lights, and 2, some pillars, because everything just looks like it's defying physics and it's just floating up in the sky, which, you know, it kind of is. But let's see if we can't fix that even just a little bit. 1 white thick's a bit too small. Okay, I'm liking the 2 white thick pillars, but I have a feeling they'll look a little bit better if, yeah, having them stick out a bit, that really works a lot better. And I think if we add this support across the entirety of this racetrack, this would really add to it, even though it's like a really, like, simple thing. But you know, nothing's wrong with simplicity sometimes. Many stacks of red concrete and many stacks of red nether bricks, and we managed to end up with something that you could physically see in real life. And just this extra little bit of support just makes this thing just feel so much more alive. I don't know, it's the little details that make things just so, like, pop out, in my opinion. Like, something like this. You could probably picture, okay, maybe not bouncing off a slime block and potentially to a hard and unforgiving floor, but you know what I mean? Like, something very supportive and very sturdy. And even though I did all this, I don't think I'm necessarily quite done with it, because the next thing I kind of want to do is just fill this entire bottom layer with, like, red nether brick slabs. But getting even that small amount of red nether brick I needed for the little support took such a long time, and I'm kind of gradually turning my starter house into a nether wart farm, if I'm honest. So doing something like that's probably going to take some time, but while we gradually work through that, let's gradually work towards actually making some paths, making some lights, making some more types of things to make this feel like an actual, like, amusement park minigame area. Because again, right now it's just like a couple minigames just spewed around the place. So let's see if we can't get ourselves just a little bit busy and make this place feel like a minigame district now. Now, that might not have seemed like I did a crazy amount of work right then, but trust me when I say there was a lot of work done here, and a whole bunch of work done, to the point where I can safely say we have a minigame district now, because literally pretty much all I did in that time lapse was add in a whole bunch of paths, and they are minorly complicated, to the point that it took me a lot longer than I thought it would. And I don't even think I'm done. I kind of want to add like a whole bunch more paths, but at least as of right now, I think we're at a point where if people want to build more minigames, then they totally can, because yeah, we have tons of paths leading all the way around, and especially all the way around up into the ice track, which, by the way, I added just a small little thing, so in the case people don't want to have to jump in, then they can just do that. Something I also really like is the fact that I added some paths underneath the ice track and leading like to other areas over here. I don't know if we'll be using these areas, but just in case people want to build like mini games in between this racetrack, then they totally can. But when walking down it, it's pretty obvious to see like what I was planning on doing, and I wanted to try like adding paths like pretty much everywhere. Like I didn't want to have like any specific way on adding paths or anything like that, but I did want to have like some form of like things you might expect to see inside like a theme park or something like that, such as maybe directions. And yeah, right now, there's only one direction to one single area, but assuming we get more minigames off in this direction, we could add more to that sign. And I know a lot of this was just path work, and I know a lot of it's still pretty empty, and I know I have a lot more paths I want to build, but at least as of right now, like, I think this place is set and ready and prepared for any other minigames people want to build over here. And I don't know, if I could think of any other minigames, then I for sure want to build them over here, but at least as of right now, I think the minigame district is charged and ready for my people to build minigames in there. But now I want to move on and fix a little, I guess, pet peeve I've had for a while. Because over at mine and Duba's base, we share another portal right here. And by the way, Duba has been doing so much work. Like, seriously, so much work. Like, seriously, look at all this stuff. Like, he did all the mountain stuff. He did all this stuff. Like, seriously. But yeah, we share one single nether portal, which is right up here, which is fine. Like, I can totally deal with that. But something I'm kind of just getting a little tired of is just having to go all the way down here and having to go all the way back up to use the nether. And so I kind of want to change that at least a little bit, but not in a way that would necessarily, like, break our nether hub or anything like that. What I instead kind of want to do is build a nether portal, which will link up to the nether hub nether portal, which when I go back through, will head up to the city nether portal. Yeah, to put it simply, or as simply as I can, if I put another portal down here, and so long as I don't, like, mess up with the gold farm or anything like that that Duba built, then I should be able to have one down here and at least make the travel from my base to the nether hub a little bit quicker. Because, you know, as much as I like this shared base idea, the fact that I'm always in a cave is just I don't know. I'm just right beneath everyone, but I always feel just, like, sort of cut off in some way. Actually, you know, I was going to build it all the way over there near the actual portal that Duba built, but I kind of want to build it, like, right here. Because I've had this little island for, like, ever and not known what to put here, but we could put a portal here. My only worry is, like, his gold farm is literally almost right above this. So if we do, we should probably build it, like, as close as we can to Duba's actual one. So probably have it be in line with the bridge. Okay, did I screw everything up, or is everything working fine? Okay, so far so good, but theoretically, I should just end up right where Duba's portal is, up on the surface. Let's see, have we? Hey, we have! And from the looks of things, I didn't break anything, so we don't get an angry Duba, and we get a little bit of an easier way in getting ourselves into the nether hub. But now we need some decoration, because a portal just sitting out here in a crystal cave is just ugly. And I have an idea in my head as to what I want this to look like, and whether or not I can actually make that happen is a mystery right now, but, you know, it's always worth trying. Well, I've certainly done something. Whether it looks good or looks ugly still is, I don't know. I'm honestly really split. Maybe it looks good and I just need time for it to sit in, or maybe it does look bad and I just need time for it to sit in. I don't know. Comments. Let me know. Does this look ugly or does this look good? Because honestly, I'm really not so sure right now. But you know, whether it does look ugly or look good, at least I have some way in getting, like, to the nether relatively easy compared to what I did before. And you know, that's pretty much all I wanted with this entire thing. But something I was just thinking about is the fact that I've not checked out this little, like, area I set up a long time ago for people to build up, like, these team bases or something like that. So let's see, has there been anything done over here? Oh, well, there has been something. There have been things that's happened. And you know, I like the effort. I like how much time you put into this. Almost as much as I love what I'm seeing over here with whatever's happening in this base area. The other two, I'm not gonna say anything mean, but I will say that you might be falling behind a little bit. Just saying. So hopefully in the coming weeks, we will see more and more progress being built up around that area. On top of hopefully seeing a whole bunch more minigames built in this minigame district. But until those hopes are fulfilled, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all later.